Greetings, worms! Fear my own self, for I am the eternal slumber, devourer of dreams, she who languishes beneath the zenith. It is I, SleepyVia. Hello, how are you doing today, everybody? Happy belated... Where's my BGM? There we go. I didn't even press anything and then it started again. Bruv. Anywho. Welcome. I hope your week has been well. Happy belated Singles Awareness Day. Today, in honor of February 14th, at my normal streaming time, we are playing some Cannibalism Yuri, because what better way to show your love to someone than to consume them? We can become one forever. Now that is true love. Marriage is what brings us together today. Ebihime. So, this better have cannibalism in it because it was under the game's description. Why is it so much louder than my BGM? It gets so lonely here. It's okay. I'm here for you guys. Let's turn the volume down a bit. Alright, is that a good volume for you guys? I hope it's not like drowning out my voice. We'll go with that unless anybody says anything. Oh wait. Language. They even have Russian. Sound volume, auto delay, transitions. Alright. Woohoo, lots more reading from me today. You are running through a forest. It is late at night and the sky is black as pitch. There is nothing to light your way save for the moon's milky glow, but its rays cannot reach you. Not properly. The trees which surround you, jutting out of the earth like eerie monuments to a foreign god, are blotting out most of the light. You cannot see where you are going. Even if you had commenced your flight at a more sensible hour, however, with the light of the sun to aid you, it would be of little use. You do not know where you are going.
Self-voicing enabled.
What the fuck?
You have no map.
Shut up.
Self-voicing disabled.
You have no map, no route, no plan. You are running like a frightened animal, anxious and nervy, with no destination in mind. You have no desire as you run, save to escape. You cannot let yourself be caught. If that were to happen, you are certain that you would be ruined. You have no choice, therefore, but to keep going. On and on and on, though your feet are screaming at you for mercy. You have no idea how long you have been running. Time has begun to blend together. It has lost all meaning. Something sharp snags at the hem of your skirt, but you do not have the luxury to pause and examine what has happened. Instead, you tug. Your skirt tears, the sound splitting through the forest, and you stumble forwards with a shocked gasp. I cannot read, bro. You are free, but at what cost? Your skirt has been irrevocably damaged. It might be too late to worry about such trivial matters now, though. If you do not start running again, she will catch you. Then your life will be over. You do not know if she is still following you, but you do not want to risk looking over your shoulder. Can I just take a moment to say that this art is gorgeous? I don't know who painted it or drew it, but it's very aesthetically pleasing. Plus, with this music in the background, I could just forget running away. I could just rest against the tree and read a book or listen to music or something. If you were to see her silhouetted beneath a tree, looking at you with that sickly sweet smile which once ensnared you, you would lose what little nerve you possess. Mita? Mita, is that you? Have you come for me, my darling? Have you come for me? Your legs would lock up and your blood would freeze in your veins. Then you would crumple. You would fall, but you would not hit the ground. She would be there to catch you. Best girl. Did she not promise when you made that contract that you would never be alone? You would like to take back that silly wish of yours, but it is too late for that. It is too late for a lot of things. All you can do is run. You run and run and run, while icy fog swirls about your feet. It is cold enough to sap the heat from your body. Oh, and you shudder from it. It feels as though you are drowning. It feels as though you are being buried alive. Your knees and your shins, meanwhile, are bleeding. You cannot endure much more of this. But if you value your own life, you must. You run and you run and you run until, at long last, you reach a fork in the road. There are 3 paths which split off through the forest. Well, 4 if you count the path down which you came. You cannot exactly double back on yourself though. Not when you have put so much effort into running forwards. You can only press on. The 3 paths are signposted, which is something of a strange sight that given that you are so deep in the forest. Dark though it might be, you have grown accustomed to the shadows. You can just pick out the writing on this old, dilapidated signpost, curved and slanted though it is. Your fate, if you will forgive me for sounding cliche, is in your hands. Now, I wonder, which path will you take? Ooh, we get a choice, I see. I heard that there are 3 possible pairings or FMCs besides yourself. So I suppose these are the 3 choices. Let's go to the castle. So, you want to go to the castle? Good idea. All decent fairy tales tend to conclude in castles once their beleaguered, put-upon heroines are finally able to wed the handsome princes they once dreamed of. No, I want a lady knight to conquer me. That would be my perfect Valentine. Why bother trying your luck with the shore, which may very well be deserted, or the village, which will be full of dirty, barefoot peasants? Oh, the peasants, the plebeians, the peons. It is far better to skip the suffering and go straight to the grand finale. That is very astute of you. I did not realize you had it in you to be so mercenary. I can only wonder what you will uncover during your moonlight meanderings. The night is far from over, and your adventures are only just beginning. I hope only that you have brushed up on your curtsies. They might come in handy when one is interacting with the sovereign. Royals can be temperamental after all. If you fail to treat them with the prerequisite amount of respect, you might come to regret it. You follow the path which leads to the castle, supporting yourself on weary, aching legs which feel ready, at a moment's notice, to detach from your hips. You are little more than a wisp of a girl, but you have been running for so very long, and your feet are so very numb. You feel like a great lumbering thing, clumsy and ungainly. The soles of your feet are screaming at you. You need to lie down, and quickly. You only hope as you continue to run that you will find a spare room available for you in the castle. You do not know what exactly will await you at the castle, but you have visions as you run of a vast, opulent dwelling. This dwelling will surely be full of finely furnished rooms in which you might rest your weary head. There must also be a king and queen inside this castle, you ponder, who will be kind and wise. And what of their children? What of a princess? Every good castle must possess a princess who will take pity on you and your plight. You can imagine the face of this generous princess with ease thanks to the fairy tales you read in abundance as a small child. Wow, this is much more like a visual novel than I was expecting. I mean, like, I was expecting more choices, you know? like, save the princess, you know, type thing. I don't know if you guys have played that game before. It's another horror game. The princess will be fair of hair and blue of eye, with soft pink lips pursed like rosebuds. Her lips will be slender, her hands dainty and unsullied from physical labor, and her sensibilities will be sweeter than a marzipan. Now I want marzipan. That sounds good. I want sugar. She will be kind to you and compassionate, just like an older sister. You do not know what older sisters are like, though, or younger sisters for that matter. Onne-chan? Imoto-chan? You're not a complete fool, however, despite your tendency to daydream, and you do have a few reservations. Monarchs do not, as you know from voracious reading, have the best track record when it comes to caring for the peasantry. Says the one who was just calling the peasants filthy. Was there not a very famous queen who once said, with a cavalier wave of her hand, that the hungry peasants in her kingdom should content themselves with cake if bread was not an option? You think that this might be a misquote, which it is, but the point still stands. Though royals are supposed to grant their subjects succor in their times of need, this does not always happen. In fact, it very rarely happens. Kings and queens and princes are just people at the end of the day, and they are subject to the same caprices that all humans are. They can also be careless, and selfish, and inconsiderate. There is no guarantee that this mythical princess of your imagination will help you. Why? There is no guarantee that this mythical princess exists at all. Is she a cannibal? Will she eat me? Will I be her Valentine? Still, you must try. It is this hope which keeps you going. You continue to run to the castle. It takes some time before you finally emerge from the woods, but finally, you do it. How much time, you ask? I cannot answer that. Did I not say that time had begun to lose all its meaning? The forest behind you now, at least, and all the awful nightmares which dwelt within it. It is still cold, though, and foggy, and very, very dark. The sun has yet to rise. You can see the moon more clearly now, though, as it hangs above your head, round as any pearl or orb or crystal ball. The moonlight shines down upon the castle, which looms in front of you like a cliffside. Ooh, pretty castle. The stone edifice of the building is imposing, and it drowns you in shadows darker than the depths of the deepest ocean. The castle's not all dark, though. Not like the night sky above it. When you crane your head, you can see that there are lights flickering within, in the narrow slitted windows. It would appear that somebody is home. The king and the queen, perhaps. What of their servants? What of Mita? What, perhaps more pressingly, of their guards? You half expect as you stand there that armored knights will accost you for daring to approach the castle of King and Queen so-and-so. Do you not know your place, foolish peasant girl with the dirty skirt? Be gone with you! You are not, of course, a peasant. Your family is a wealthy one. Or rather, they were before your family made a series of poor financial decisions. You do not look like a young lady right now, though, with your dirty face and your dirty skirt, which is torn at the hem. So we're a rich young Ojo-sama. If any guard were to take you for a vagrant, it would not be surprising. But though you stand there dithering, your filthy fingers hooked in front of your filthy skirt, you do not hear any cries. Nobody sounds the alarm. Lights might be on inside the castle, but there is nobody outside of its perimeter standing sentry. There is nobody to impede your entry, and the elaborate iron gates which are just set into the vast stone walls about the castle's exterior are open. Just a crack. It would be a trivial matter to slip inside. There is nobody to stop you. Why are you trembling now, you silly thing? You have come so very far. It would be an act of foolishness to turn around now. Go on. Go. Onward and upward. You inhale, perhaps in an attempt to screw up your courage, which has at long last begun to fail you. And then, you step forwards. You slide between the wrought iron gates as stealthy and as secretive as a thief, then cross the path which leads up to the tall, imposing structure. The domed doorway which leads into the castle itself, hewn from stone, is closed. But as a push of your palm, it swings inwards. The door creaks alarmingly as it opens, the sound loud enough to split the silence like a thunderclap. You inhale at this, and glance around, your eyes darting hither and thither. If there are any guards posted about the castle's grounds, they should have all been alerted by that sound. Will they come for you at long last? What will happen should they catch you? Will they throw you in the dungeons? That does not sound like a pleasant way to spend a night. At least you would have a roof over your head though, and you would not have to keep walking. Your feet really do ache. You stand there for an interminable amount of time, your heart pounding a panicked irregular rhythm in the base of your throat. But no matter how much time elapses, no guards come. So, when do we get to the cannibalism? I'm waiting for some action here. You are thankful for your good luck, though it does make you wonder. Where is everybody? Why, it is almost as if all the people in the world have disappeared. Could you be the very last human left alive? You frown, then press your palm back against the door. You push less cautiously this time, heedless of the loud sound which splits the silence. There is no point in worrying about the guards, not when they might very well be non-existent. Your entry to the castle secured, you then take a step forwards. The door swings shut behind you, and the resultant slam makes you jump. You did not expect it. Your heart knocks against your ribs, and with wild eyes, you glance about. You are standing in a vast entrance hall made of stone which splits off into any number of passages. Oh, do we get a choice here? At the very end of the hall, meanwhile, there is a large elaborate staircase, one of which seems to extend to the heavens themselves. It is dark inside the hall, but there are numerous torches set in sconces in the stone wall which are aflame. They offer some relief from the shadows. You can hear the faint sound of the wind outdoors as it moans against the castle's impervious walls, but you cannot hear any footsteps. You cannot hear any voices. You cannot, more importantly, hear any people. Maybe the castle is empty. If that is the case though, then who lit these torches? It is a curious conundrum. You must muster up what remains of your courage, then cry out, addressing the empty hall in a timorous voice which fails to properly fill up the space. Hello, you say, your eyes wide. Is anybody there? Your voice echoes through the vast empty hall, but it is met yet again with silence. You cannot say you are too surprised, but it is somewhat disappointing. Not one to be deterred, you try again and again, your voice growing louder with each subsequent attempt. No matter how loud your voice, however, it fails to reach any ears. If anybody is here, they do not seem to be particularly sociable. That, or perhaps they simply cannot hear you. Could they be in another room? Yes, that must be it. You will never find that pretty fairy tale princess of your imagination if you stand idle, you know. Why does, dude, the main character seems so thirsty? Like, she's writing for her life, comes to this castle, and the first thing she wants is her own princess. I mean, fair enough, but shouldn't exactly be your first priority right now. It is time to get to work. Put those legs of yours to good use. Up the stairs we go. Not knowing what else to do. Is there anything else you can do? You begin to explore. You examine the rooms, first on the ground floor of the castle, which are of a similar scale to the impressive entrance hall. Large and richly furnished, but utterly unoccupied. After some time of aimless meandering, encountering nobody save the ghosts of eons past memorialized in portraits upon the walls, you muster the courage to ascend to the second floor. This floor, too, you examine, wandering through a seemingly endless series of hallways until, at long last, you find a door which is ajar. From between the crack in the door and the jamb, you can see a flickering light. Irregular, yes, but it is light nonetheless. Could it be from a fireplace? That would suggest, then, that this room is occupied, unlike all the others. Perhaps the kindly princess you dreamed of will be awaiting you in this room. It is with a trembling hand that you press your palm against the door. You push it. Then you step inside the bedchamber, which unveils itself to you. Shyly, you stand in the threshold of the chamber, much of your courage extinguished, and gasp. The bedroom itself is gorgeous. It is a chamber so luxuriant, not even the shadows can obscure the fine craft of the furniture within it, nor the rich patterns on the walls. It is the girl inhabiting the chamber, however, who truly takes your breath away. Sitting upon the velveteen sheets of the towering four-poster is a girl in a sumptuous red gown who seems to be of a like age to you. You do not have a clear view of the girl's face. Her head is bowed, her gaze directed downwards at her lap. You can tell from her hair, however, and from her slender calves, which protrude from beneath the hem of her dress, that she is very pretty. The girl's hair is golden, just like freshly cut wheat, but it is the red of her dress which truly captures your attention. The red of blood. She is so striking you cannot look away from her. Oh, that's creepy. Dolls are creepy, man. The girl is not alone in her chamber either. Like, automaton dolls that like look human are cool, but like baby dolls, like the toy dolls are creepy as fuck. I don't know, maybe that's just me. The girl is not alone in her chamber either. She has a companion, though this companion is not half so endearing as she. In her lap, perched upon her velvet skirt, is a doll. The doll's hair, like that of her mistress's, is golden, though much of it is hidden beneath the bonnet. The girl is adjusting the china teacup held in the doll's tiny hand, while the rim of the cup glints in the light which exudes from the fireplace. Yeah, growing up, I could never understand why girls like dolls. Because they're creepy as fuck. I love stuffed animals. I have more stuffed animals than I should have. They take up a lot of room. But dolls are creepy. Ugh. It has an uncanny valley effect. If the girl is of a similar age to you, it seems strange that she would content herself by playing with dolls. Is she not too old for it? Okay, that I disagree with. I don't think you have to be a certain age to play with certain toys. But again, I do think that dolls in general are creepy. I don't know, get like a giant stuffed dinosaur or something instead. That would be much cooler. This girl would be more at home, you decide, at a ball, wearing an extravagant gown speaking with wealthy noblemen, perhaps even princes. She should not be sitting in what you presume is her bedchamber, adjusting a teacup in a doll's hand. But you are not afforded much more time to stand there, marveling at the girl, because she turns. She raises her head, then her eyes meet yours. You thought the girl pretty when you first observed her, sitting on the edge of her plush velveteen bed, examining her doll. Excuse me. Oh my god. Now she is looking at you, however. I'm gonna get some water. Now she is looking at you, however, her face illuminated by the flames in their grate, and you can see that you were mistaken. She is not just pretty. She is beautiful, so much so it is breathtaking. She looks as though she has stepped out of the pages of a picture book. She is simply too perfect to belong to this world. Perhaps she is some kind of vision, a waking dream, a hallucination. But no, she is none of those things. The doll on her lap is a cold, hard thing made of porcelain, and is unflinchingly, reassuringly real. If she were a mirage, surely she would not be able to handle physical objects such as this. It is strange, though. The doll, though immaculately made, looks oddly imperfect when compared to the girl who is holding it. She is so startlingly beautiful. She even puts man-made representations of feminine charm to shame. The sight of her makes you feel rather weak. You always have had a fondness for fair maidens, haven't you? Damn, this bitch is gay. You are rather hopeless when it comes to them. Even worse than a knight-errant from a courtly legend. Your aesthetic appreciation is not particularly ladylike. But, well, it is not every day a girl encounters an elegant beauty like this, attired in red, illuminated by the firelight. I suppose I can forgive you for this rudeness, as too can the girl. She does not seem to be the type to hold a grudge. Oh, the girl says, in a voice that, surprisingly enough, far less refined than her appearance. It is good to see you. I've been waiting. Has she? That is news to you. You blink, perplexed, as a response on the tip of your tongue, but you're unable to expel it into the ether. The girl is setting her doll aside. Then she stands, the hem of her dress swishing about her legs. Nimbly like a ballerina, she canvasses the space between you. Her room is so very large, there's quite a lot of space. Then takes your hands into her home. Holy crap! Are we doing unprotected hand-holding before marriage? Oh my gosh. Bro. Unprotected hand-holded? Unprotected hand-holding in my cannibal game? Excuse me. You must, the girl says, her eyes aglow with excitement. Be my new lady's maid. It has been a while, but it's such a relief that you finally arrived. I knew that you would. You never leave me alone. Not when you knew how long I was waiting. Oh, I'm so happy. The girl's good mood is contagious. So much so, you find yourself being swept away in it. You are tempted to accept any identity she might press upon you. Can I be her bitch? Can I say something? Maid Mint's laugh is contagious. I love her laugh. It is so charming and beautiful and endearing to listen to. And also she has a killer singing voice. I don't know if you listened to her jazz karaoke some time ago, but oh my god, it is so good. And the contrast between her voice is like, I don't know. It's that gap moe. She has a very soft and bubbly normal voice when she's speaking, but then when she sings, it's so smooth and jazzy and silky. You have never been a maid before, but you might not mind being this girl's maid. She does not seem like a poor mistress to serve, not if she is always this kind. You cannot mask the confusion, however, which flickers across your face. You are not a good enough actress. And in any case, this is all happening too quickly. Let's save just in case I... Okay. And in any case, this is all happening too quickly. Why, you barely know this girl. Why is she being so very familiar? It is with blank bovine eyes that you examine this girl. Your befuddlement is pronounced enough that even the girl, despite her good mood, notices it. She frowns. Then she says, her fingers sliding away from your own. Or am I mistaken? Are you not my new lady's maid after all? The disappointment in the girl's face is abundant. So much so your heart clenches. You do not know her. She is still a stranger. But you are struck all of a sudden with the intense desire to appease her. You do not want to let her down. The thought is devastating. You were not aware, you tell her, that you had applied to be her maid. But if that is what she wills, you would not be opposed to it. You pray that she forgives you, though, for your discombobulation. You come from a distant country and you have traveled for many miles. You know not... Whoops. Where'd it go? You know not where you are and you do not know who she is. What? You don't know who I am? It is regrettable, you tell her. But no, you do not know her. Though that is no fault of her own. Why? You have spent such a long time running you hardly even know yourself. Ah, so you are a fugitive then? From another country? I see. I won't pry into your past then if you'd rather forget about it. I don't mind sharing my past with you though. Everybody in this country knows who I am after all. Or at least they should. Now, this is quite the impressive boast. If it were to come from the lips of another, you would find it unpleasantly arrogant. You do not think, however, that this girl is trying to show off. You get the feeling instead that she is merely telling the truth. If you don't have the pleasure of knowing me, then allow me to do the honors. My father and my mother were the king and queen of this realm, and I am his princess. I've lived in this castle all my life, so I don't know much about the outside world. But I do know that other countries do exist out there. I presume it is from one of those foreign countries that you come from. It is very good to meet you. I have always wanted to talk to somebody from overseas. It feels like quite the opportunity. The girl giggles at this and you smile in response. You tell her unthinkingly that it is your pleasure really to meet her. Or at least you mean to. You only get halfway through this remark when the full gravity of what the girl has told you sinks in. You come to a stop. Then you stare. Did she just say she was a princess? Yes, that's right. I'm a princess. And one day I'll be a queen. After I've done a bit of growing up. My ministers don't think I'm ready to run the country just yet. But I've been doing my best at my lessons. One day, I'm sure I'll be the best queen there ever was. So, she really is a princess. That makes sense, you suppose, given she lives in a castle. But it comes as a surprise regardless. That would have been funny if, like, this route is the princess, and then another route is the king, and then another route is the queen. Why, if she willed it, she could have executed you for your carelessness. An ugly red flush creeps up your face. A flush which is far more lurid than the princess's dress, as you look at your feet. Bashfully, you stammer out a new address, that you are very sorry for intruding upon her, and you hope that she can forgive you. Oh, it's alright. Think nothing of it. I don't mind, really. We all make mistakes. And anyway, you weren't to know. You said you weren't from around here. You nod your head in silent affirmation. It isn't a complete lie. You really are not from this country. You are not from this world at all. Interesting. Where are we from? How wonderful. I'll look forward to picking your brain later. All of my servants come from a nearby village. Their tales are all the same, and so are their superstitions. I could do with a breath of fresh air. My last lady's maid told me I was too impetuous, but I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting a bit of adventure. Not that I've ever been afforded much of that. I've been shut up in here for so long, I hardly ever get the chance to talk to other girls my age. My last lady's maid was older than me, and so was the one before her and the one before her. Some of the princess's fair mood seems to dissipate as she speaks, her expression turning by degrees into something more pensive. But I haven't seen any of my old lady's maids in a while. Or any of the other servants for that matter. They've all disappeared. Now that is quite curious. How could a whole household full of servants simply disappear? That I don't know. This castle was full of servants once. My lady's maids and my undermaids and my scullery maids and my housekeeper and my cooks and a large retinue of retainers. I'm not gonna lie, I thought this game would be more interactive. I hope you do like listening to me read, but maybe I'll try to find something more interactive for next week. So you can see my brain wheels spin instead of just me reading. I think partially also just because my attention span is kind of dwindling here. I would like to at least get one of the paths done, though, on stream. They're all gone now, though. I think my ministers must have sent them away. I don't know why they would have done that, though. They didn't explain it to me. But then again, they never explained anything to me. They still treat me like a little girl. It is so tiring. She said that her minister sent her servants away. What of her parents, the king and the queen? Would they not be the ultimate authorities in the castle's hierarchy? They would, yes, if they were still alive. But they're not. They died a long time ago. I was raised for most of my life by my servants. Oh, you answer. And then you flush. You hadn't known. It's alright. You don't need to apologize. I'm just happy that I have you now. I was getting sick and tired of only having my dolls to speak to. They aren't the best conversational partners. Neither are my stuffed animals. They don't respond much when I speak to them, unfortunately. You can imagine so, yes. You doubt any doll, even one mated by a talented artisan, with an intelligent face indistinguishable from a human's, would be very good at answering back. This is why we need AI. We need Lulums. We need AI automatons. Oh no, they aren't. They're hopeless at it, really. They're so stony-lipped. You have no idea how much of a relief it is to see you. This castle is so big, and without my servants, it feels so very empty. It gets so lonely here. Now, that is an interesting turn of phrase. Title drop? Guys, we just got the title drop. Felt kind of anticlimactic though. It catches inside your head like a burr. Have you heard it before? You did not have much time to ponder this, however, because the princess is speaking anew, in that curious conversational manner of hers which does not seem particularly princessy. Maybe she learned how to speak from her servants. And that would explain why her consonants are so unrefined. Wow, aren't we prissy? Oh, but listen to me yammering on again. It's a bad habit. I really must put a stop to it. You're probably tired, dear one, from your travels. Would you like me to show you your room? Yes, the princess announces before you can say anything in reply. I think I'll do just that. I might show you a bit around the castle first, though. It's like a maze in here, and I wouldn't want you getting lost. You'll be staying here for quite some time, after all. The princess hastens to take you on a tour of her home. Fortunately, she does not show all of the rooms in her abode, and neither does she offer overly long descriptions as to what the few rooms she does show you are really used for. She does, however, pause by the kitchens where she offers you some victuals. Once the growling in your belly has been satisfied, the princess then resumes her journey. She leads you down the dark, twisting hallway and up a series of equally dark, twisting steps until she arrives, at long last, before a door. The princess pushes this door aside summarily, thus permitting you entrance to a small, humble bedchamber. This chamber is not half so opulent as the grand bedroom in which the princess resides, with its resplendent four-poster and its richly patterned wallpaper. This room's ceiling is not as high, and the singular bed shoved against the wall is thin and narrow. The walls are an unassuming beige, and the floor beneath your soles is of warped wood. There is a malodorous scent too, which hangs in the air, one of disuse and general decay. You get the feeling that nobody has slept in this room for quite some time. And that might explain why it feels so very cold in here. Though, if the princess's tour of her castle has taught you anything, it is that it is very cold in every room in her abode. Now here we are, the final stop of our tour. This will be your room, dear one. I hope it's to your liking. The princess, despite her exalted status, looks somewhat uneasy as she observes you, her eyes upturned like those of a loyal dog. Need some water. Not gonna lie, I think I don't have like proper technique for reading or something because it wears my throat out so much. Which is silly because I'm in choir and we sing for like 2.5 hours straight and I'm fine. But I can't speak like this for so long. Like, and I don't want to kill my throat. So honestly, we might stop here. I don't know if we will continue this. I would at least like to finish one path on stream, but it does take a lot out of my throat. So next week we will probably play something else. Something more interactive. I'm hoping to look for like a horror game or a puzzle game, because I feel like screaming. I want to get my energy pumped, you know? Energy pumped. Instead of like I don't know. Something to stimulate my neurons. I was hoping there would be more Yuri and more cannibalism and more... I don't know. I do like the story. It's very atmospheric. But not quite what I was expecting for stream. Because you know how like some games are good for streaming and are very entertaining, and other games are good for solo play on your own time when you want to enjoy something by yourself, but not as hype. There's no hype. Okay, well, that's it. I'm gonna go rest my throat. I should probably get some tea or something because it's sore. Probably not getting proper breath support when I read. Or I don't know, maybe when I'm reading I focus too much and then I put too much tension into my throat. I don't know. It's not the same as singing. I don't know, maybe it's because I've been taking singing lessons that like it's easier to relax my throat when singing now, but reading is a whole different beast. No. Anyways, anywho, thanks for coming for those of you who did come, and thank you to VOD watchers. I will see you next week. So long, farewell, sweet dreams, rest in peace.